There are 5 different categories of computing project. Research base, development, evaluation, industrial base, and problem solving category. Research base involve investigating of particular area, improving your understanding to a specific area, identifying strength and weakness within the field or certain field. Also, it discusses how field has evolved, and also acknowledging area suitable for further development and investigation. Yani there is certain area want to investigate it, or there is an area that is already being investigated, but there is a chance for improvement or a chance to make it more clear. So you have to research it and come up with a conclusion. And you probably want to show a weakness or strength of certain knowledge. It's already been in a place. And also you probably want to study the history of a certain area, or you want to further investigate a better way to develop for existing area. In other words, research-based project is backward looking rather than forward looking. And this kind of project will involve some of literature search and review. Yani you need to study the subject that is want to research it, because most of them involve in focusing in a specific area that is being studied maybe. So you need to do research about this area before you start to make your contribution. And those type of project specifically is suitable in the bachelor and the master courses. Those are the one who are backward looking. Backward looking is good in the bachelor and the master degree teaching. The second type is development. Still talking about category of computer projects. Development category includes developing software and hardware system, which also include process modeling, method designing and algorithm, theories, and requirement specification. Developing the software required all these areas. And it depended in your course, like the example I give you in the application development, it could be vary from one course to another course. For example, yani, if you are in the software engineering class, The emphasis may be in development and evaluation of a specific software that is using a specific process model. And based on your study, you need to generate in your own understanding, in your own thinking, your evaluation. And therefore, in this type of class, you need to basically create document, evaluation or report or document to submit it as outcome of this project. And in this type, you are expected to include critical evaluation of the product. We're talking about this example, software engineering in the development category of computing project. You have to include critical evaluation of the product, the development process used, and critical evaluation that emphasize distinction between academic quality work and technical ability. Clear?
Clear.
And just want to put some distinction, going back the difference between the project that is done in the industrial setting versus the project done in the academic setting. If you look at this diagram, which represent a same project in the industrial setting, the industrial project and the user need, we don't have that much gap because the industrial project asks you for a certain situation, you solve it, you satisfy the customer. There is no margin of error, and the customer mainly satisfy. The little area around here, if you see my cruiser, it might be relevant to testing and evaluating if the project been done to satisfy the specification. But in the industry, in the academic area, you have the area where your input is very highly needed, is very clear, because you meet in this area where the collision happened between user need and the student project is smaller, and there is bigger area where the user need is not being satisfied, and there is an area where is student project where you as a student to have your input in there. Clear? So that is the difference. User is more satisfied by having less collision, less area that is outside the collision. Whereas in the academia, the collision is smaller. There is more emphasis on the student input to satisfy the user need. And the third category in the computing project is evaluation. And these category include all the projects that involve some form of evaluation and focus in the main. Example, when you are asked to compare several approach of particular problem. Another example, when you are evaluating two or more programming language for a specific program, So you're asked to develop a certain application, and you need to evaluate which programming language you wanted to use. Or another example, analyzing an implementation process with a particular industry. So there is a business process need to be implemented. You need to analyze it. So this analyzation, it has to be evaluated, or it is the evaluation. Or when you're implementing an application, you have to implement a markup for that application interfaces, and you need to evaluate which one is better than other, which one is more easier than to use, which database has to be in this front interface or that face. So you are evaluating. And typically this type of category include case study. So you have to do a case study in your evaluation project. The fourth category in computing projects is industry base. Those those type of project basically are done to solve certain problem within an organization. And the fifth type is problem solving. This type can involve developing new technique to solve problem. Maybe improving efficiency of existing approach, or an evaluation to a different approach or theories. It also involves applying existing problem solving technique or theory to a new area. So there is a specific technique being established to solve certain problem, and this technique becomes a standard. You probably will use this technique to solve a different problem, not the same problem that technique was evolved from. Okay, an example, did your new approach work well, or did you discover a reason why it is unsuitable for a problem of this nature? So you apply the problem solving technique, but it did not work. So you come up with a new technique that's suitable to that certain problem. And in this category, you also have to come up with a theory why, or to your own understanding why this technique worked better in some situation than others. And those are the 5 categories that is we are using in a project computer. Please, if you have any question, let me know.